Kamala Harris's home state of California is the #1 state of people moving out in 2024. They have a net migration of negative 10,453. Meanwhile, in my home state of South Carolina, we're #2 in actual growth, and we welcome them. It's a good environment, it's good weather, good beaches. Mr. DeVore, do you believe it's a result of the high cost of living and regulatory burdens inflicted on Californians by the progressive state government there that people are leaving? Is that the main culprit?
Yes. If you look at history with California, you go back to, let's say, 1960, the cost of living relative to the rest of the country was about 105 to 110%. So, roughly 5 to 10% higher as an index if the rest of the country averages out to 100. Today, it's between 145 to 150, meaning it's about 45% more costly to live in California than in the average of the U.S.
How will it affect the cost of living for Americans on a national level if we take the California model and apply it to Washington?
It's pretty staggering. So if you look at the study that was commissioned when I was in the legislature, looking at, for example, the compliance costs for small business in California, just for the California regulatory burden, in inflation-adjusted terms today, it came out to about $200,000 per small business. That was several times, by the way, what the federal regulatory burden was at the time. Now, the Biden-Harris administration put in regulatory policies just in the last 3.5 years that more than equaled the entire federal regulatory burden as it existed about 20 years ago. And so what's happening with these federal regulations is that by pushing California and New York-like regulations down on the rest of the country, what you're doing is you're erasing the interstate advantages of low-tax, low-regulatory states like your South Carolina.